All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to another SoCast webinar. We're thrilled to be back again this month and wish all of our American friends a belated happy Thanksgiving. We're looking forward to a very exciting 2019 here at SoCast and hope you are as well. The main goal of our webinar today is to provide you with some material for you and your sales teams and the operations teams with some planning materials, some good thoughts around what you should be thinking about when it comes to digital sales and how you can prepare for 2019 to make this a strong revenue center for you and continue to grow and capitalize on the opportunity that is digital. We'll be happy to share this presentation at the end, and early next week we'll be ready to send out a recording of the webinar, and we'll post that to our YouTube channel as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And let's get going today. The theme of our webinar today is preparing your sales team for 2019. Do you want digital with that? As we go through, please feel free to tweet your thoughts about the webinar, and you can use both our @SoCastSRM handle and the hashtag #DigitalDollars. Right now, we are having some technical difficulties to answer live questions, but we'll do our best. The system does record questions, so don't be frustrated if we don't answer your questions in real time, as we're just working through some technical issues to be able to accommodate your questions in real time. But nonetheless, we will definitely aggregate them and get back to you. So don't hesitate to send questions in using the GoToWebinar question panel on the side of your screen. Before we get really into it, again, we'd be remiss if we didn't have a word from our sponsors, us here at SoCast, and just explain to you what SoCast does. For those of you who don't know, and for those of you who this is a refresher for, SoCast aims to make digital growth easy for radio broadcasters. That is our mission, and we do only work with radio broadcasters. We specialize in helping groups like yours to grow digital, and when we're speaking of growth, we're really talking about two things. One is we're helping you engage your audiences in all of the digital channels that are out there in this day and age, from web, mobile apps, voice skills, social media, etc. And we have that bundled into one very easy to use dashboard to make your life easy to publish more content and engage with your audience in a meaningful way. The other side of the growth is really what we're talking about today, and that is the growth of driving digital revenue. With our SoCast Ads platform, we are providing our radio partners with a programmatic ad solution so they can go out and extend an advertiser's impressions out onto the wider internet and beyond your own owned and operated inventory to really capitalize on their target audience and connect with their target audience and drive impressions amongst that target audience. We'd be happy to speak to anybody about this opportunity, as this is a real revenue generation tool for 2019 and something everybody should be focusing on. In short, we pride ourselves on being the premier end-to-end integrated content management system and advertising platform for radio broadcasters, and that is in a nutshell what we do. We really try to achieve this with 3 easy steps. Our first step is the radio everywhere, and this is the enabling you to be in all of the channels you need to be in to engage with your audience: web, social, mobile apps, even through an interactive player where people can interact with your social media on there and with the current songs playing. Of course, there's voice skills from Alexa and Google that are a new and very important channel to consider. We then make it easy to create, publish, syndicate, and promote content with our content management system, with our one-stop publishing. This will, in effect, enable you to grow your audience and connect in a more one-to-one, narrowcast environment with your audience. And then once you have all of the channels and you're able to produce some excellent content, we want to enable you to be able to monetize this, both with programmatic ad technology like ad extension, geo-targeting, targeted display, as well as through your own owned and operated inventory. For 2019, we'll be continuing to expand our agency offering so you can provide digital service such as website building, SEO, etc. But ultimately, what we want to help you do is make digital a revenue center, not a cost center. So let's get right into it and why we're here today. Well, I think and I hope that we'll all agree that digital is core to connecting your advertisers and your listeners in this digital era. Digital is that one outlet that will allow you to collect data on your listeners as they go through a buyer's journey and really track the buyer's journey from the first impression all the way back to the cash register. And that's really one of the unique attributes of digital. It's important to realize and recognize that advertisers are really thinking differently in this day and age. They're no longer looking for just a traditional spot solution, commercial-based solution. They do have the desire to work with a single supplier to work for a digital solution as well. And radio needs to start thinking of this as an integrated offering to provide the best results to their ad partners. In 2018 survey, almost 3/4 of advertisers aim to use digital and traditional media together, compared to about 1/4 that just continue to use traditional. So advertisers are getting wise that digital is an effective medium for them. They are willing to experiment with it and know the benefits of it. So it is important that radio can also extend its offering to include a digital component. And the reality is that local advertisers are spending more on traditional. Well, the traditional spend is either flat or even down. And with a strong economy and the way things are going, we expect, and so does, the industry at large expects, that digital will continue to grow while radio spends will remain flat. Traditional radio spends will remain flat or even decline over the next couple of years. In 2018, in a survey, 70% of advertisers said that they plan to increase their digital budget. So again, advertisers are looking to spend more in digital, and there is no reason that you shouldn't enable yourselves and your sales teams to go out and offer a digital solution to try to capture more share of wallet from your current advertiser and entrench yourself deeper with them as a partner. The one problem is that when surveyed, radio was found to be lagging behind all other media in terms of offering a digital component when being sold to. So businesses, when they were buying solutions, it was far less frequent amongst radio salespeople that they were actually including a digital solution as well. And this is a gap that SoCast feels definitely needs to be closed. So why is this? Well, excuses. They're really, we sit and speak to radio broadcasters every day, and the more we get into the market with our SoCast ads product, we hear these things frequently and to some degree in a frustrating manner, because we really believe that these excuses are not what's reality. So what do we hear? And, maybe these are some of the things you're hearing amongst your sales team as well, that selling digital will distract your sales team. It'll take their eye off the prize. We don't believe that. We believe that digital can be incremental. We believe that digital should be added on. We're not telling you to take from one bucket and put it into the other bucket. We believe you can still fill the traditional bucket while adding in on the more digital bucket. Digital cannibalizes from traditional. From our experience, we have found that, and as that chart shows, the decline in traditional is only very small. Most people would even say it's flat. From my understanding from our radio partners, this has actually been a very good year for traditional. But also the reality is that advertisers have budgets for both, and there is no reason it needs to be cannibalized. Again, it should be incremental revenue. We're in digital. Digital is not our, we're in radio. Digital is not our business. Again, SoCast takes a contrarian approach to that. We believe that, yes, you are in radio 100%, but radio has become a multimedia business. It is no longer a single audio channel business. And the reality is that you are content producers now, not just for audio, but in digital as well. My sales team doesn't know digital. Well, there's lots of sales trainers out there, including SoCast helps enable you to go and your sales teams to go out and sell digital. It is not as difficult as it seems, and it's certainly something that with a little bit of embrace can be learned and simplified. And we advocate that obviously everybody should get into the realm. Our ad partners don't understand digital. Again, that is something we don't believe in. We have seen more and more people asking for digital. There is with some of the more low-hanging fruit, like car dealerships, there is co-op dollars in which they have to go out and spend money on digital. Your ad partners are more sophisticated than you think. And even though they may not be sophisticated enough to know exactly where to spend their money, they are putting money into Google. They are putting money into Facebook. They may not understand the benefits of it. We want to enable you and your sales teams to become that digital expert so you can explain to them how they can get the best bang for their buck. And ultimately, it should be through you. The reality is everybody is selling digital today, and if you don't sell them digital solutions, somebody else will. It is simply a commodity in this modern world that you need to embrace because everybody is selling it, and there is no reason you shouldn't enable your sales team to go out and get a piece of that pie. And there's reasons why that is. The benefit to your advertisers is that recognition when you combine digital with radio is 60% higher. So their results, their sales are bound to increase when you couple something as fine as wine and cheese when you couple digital with radio. It will give you an opportunity for you. The benefit is that you will get more of your advertisers' pie. There will be more share of wallet for you to claim. You will be more entrenched with your ad partners because you can offer them not just the traditional services, but also the digital offerings. And again, this will breed longer-term relationships. It will breed stronger relationships with your ad partners because you will have more offerings that they need you for. In short, the multi-platform integrated campaigns will drive revenue growth. Radio plus digital is really what's going to drive your bottom line in 2019. So let's get into a little bit of some of the things you and your sales team can start to think about as you prepare for 2019 and check off. One quick short announcement is it does seem that we've overcome some of our technical issues here. So I do have a colleague in office answering questions in real time. So we do encourage you to ask questions or give us your feedback as we go through this. And we'll look forward to addressing any of those. If we don't get to them all, please don't be frustrated. We will definitely follow up with anything after the webinar happens as well. What it really comes down to in our mind is enabling your sales team and encouraging your sales team to say, do you want digital with that? Now, I know that there's a famous fast food restaurant that has stolen this from us, but I can tell you that they're doing fairly well by using digital as an add-on and, not digital, but adding French fries as an add-on and have made a business out of making sure that they are constantly upselling. There's really two schools of thought around this. For those that are a little bit more novice and nascent in getting into this, at a bare minimum, you should be asking your advertisers once you've completed securing your traditional sale, is there a digital solution that you can provide them? Whether it's selling them some of your owned and operated inventory on your websites like banners and box ads, your traditional display ads on your mobile apps and on your websites. That, of course, is one offering. And then, of course, if you have a partner like SoCast who can enable you to get out into the more programmatic space, that is something you should be able to offer them. But for the more advanced, it's almost as if you can couple them right out of the gate and prepare your sales teams to go out and sell them as a pre-coupled bundle, pairing your traditional offering with your digital opportunities as well, and not making it an afterthought. Do you want digital with that, but actually coupling it right from the start and leading to some degree with digital. Regardless, there is no question that at every sales interaction there should be a digital component that you can offer to your current ad partners. So how do you do this? Well, we've broken it down into really 4 basic P's: prepare, price, package, and pitch. And you want to prepare your sales team around these 4 goals. You want to make sure that when in preparation, that as an organization, that there are goals and that you are tracking the results. And then, of course, you want to make sure your team has the sales materials they need, has the knowledge base that they need, the training that they need, and that they are prepared to ask that question, or even better, package it together. You need to price your digital, and we'll talk a little bit about that, some things to consider as we go through this webinar. You want to package it. Again, you want to make it easy for your teams to explain and for your advertising partners to understand by creating promotions and bundled packages together. And then you want to make sure that your team, again, is pitching this and is ready to sell it, and that you have the mechanics in place within your radio organizations, your broadcast organizations, so that you can fulfill the orders that are submitted by your ad partners. So looking at this, how do you empower your staff to sell digital inventory? Well, we've broken it down into 6 checkboxes that you and your team should consider as you plan for 2019. We alluded to it earlier that you definitely want to have key performance indicators, KPIs, goals, objectives, and maintain that because people just shooting at nothing, there's really nothing for them to strive for. But if you put some numbers to paper and really define what those KPIs should be, that is something that is very important, particularly for salespeople who are, money motivated or goal motivated. We've done a webinar in the past on what metrics you should look at, and you can certainly email me. I will be providing my email address at the end of this for a link to that webinar. But things like your overall digital percentage of revenue is a good goal to start with. A percentage of digital revenue per month is a good. Campaign sold each month. Those are really important basic goals that you can start with. And again, we can provide a few more. You want to enable your salespeople with regular digital sales training. Any good organization with sales is likely doing, sales training on an ongoing basis. Some more frequently than others, but the reality is that there should be a digital component to it, especially in this day and age. Prepare questions with your sales team to better understand needs and budgets. Again, making sure that you're asking simple questions and understanding what digital advertising your advertisers are currently employing. Asking questions, are you currently advertising on Google or Facebook or spending money on Google AdWords? Is a very good introductory question to even just probe whether people have a budget allocated for digital. For, again, auto dealerships that have co-op dollars, how much do they have to spend on digital each month, and through who are they doing that? Are they currently doing it through an agency, and is there an opportunity to explore that with you as their trusted partner who is probably doing a lot of spot ads for your local auto dealership? But preparing questions and workshopping those, certainly, again, SoCast is happy to help with that, and potentially can do a future workshop on preparing discovery questions for that need. Compensating your sales team to sell digital. Again, if there is no digital component, if you have a target but it doesn't yield any, we all know there is no shame for a salesperson to be money motivated. Every salesperson should be money motivated. Of course, they should want to be solution oriented and all of the other things that every good salesperson should be. But definitely it should be money that drives them and motivates them. And there's no shame in that. You need to compensate like you do for their current sales performance. And make sure that the team understands the upside and benefit of that. You should review your digital inventory and services with your sales team and make sure that that is clear and obvious, and make sure that you are updating that with your sales team as they get feedback from their advertisers as to how effective your packages are working, how effective your inventory is, and you should be able to measure that effectiveness at all times and share those tools with your sales team. And of course, it's always good to use a CRM for digital sales prospecting. There are so many out there. I know the RAB offers one for radio specifically, and it just went through an overhaul and is, by all accounts from our partners who are using it, an excellent tool. But regardless of what CRM you use, it is important to have some sort of retention software, customer retention software, so you can track and see how your pipeline and your activity rates are doing with your salespeople. There are so many different types of inventory that you should be able to, enable your sales team with. So we start with the owned and operated inventory on your websites and mobile apps, everything from your display through audio and video pre-roll, and then some of the more creative things that really generate digital revenue, like site takeovers and events, promotions, using all of your widgets or elements within your websites, like your feature rotator, or as we call them, sliders, being able to offer email blast and manage social media, and doing native ads that sort of look like they fit right into the site, but are actually more advertorial for a local advertiser. There are so many good examples of this, but these are some of the tools and inventory items that you have just, within your website environments. And if you don't, certainly you should have a partner that can enable you to offer those. Mobile, this is mobile app specifically. There's traditional display like banners and interstitial ads. You can have synchronized ads, so that's synchronized with the audio, so that that it is coupled with a companion ad on display. SMS, if you're not currently using that, some of our partners are having phenomenal success using an SMS provider like ZipWhip, for example, where they can do sponsorships for that, and also for contesting, sponsored contests through SMS text messaging that can be very impactful. In our last webinar, we shared one example that had phenomenal results for the advertiser and for the radio station, and has become more of a tentpole annual campaign that they do for Father's Day every year. So please check out our previous webinar on that. With digital advertising service, again, this is some of the more advanced things like programmatic, targeted display, geofencing, retargeting, and then, offering video services, email, SEO, web development, social media management, and video production are other core ways that you can make digital. So this should just give you a good sense of some of the things that you can start to consider. We suggest that you don't bite off more than you can chew and maybe select a few of the things, but start looking at the owned and operated inventory that you have currently with your existing web and mobile, and please start to probe, ideally with SoCast, if you will, some of the advanced digital advertising and programmatic services that can be that you can enable your sales team with. So how to price? We mostly, unless you're in a large market or you have a website that is generating significant impressions and page views, we recommend the simplest format is to price on a flat rate approach. What we mean by this is selling your inventory by timeshare. So, over a 2-week period, you'll own a specific inventory piece, or a month or a quarter, whatever it may be. But we find the reason for this is that it is easier for your sales team to articulate to an advertiser, and it is easiest for an advertiser to understand versus the alternative, a CPM model, a cost per thousand model, where you're having to sort of show proof of concept of your impressions and then what that cost is. Again, that is a great model for larger websites that are generating a lot of traffic, that have that data through Google Analytics or another format. But the simplest and easiest for both your sales team to start out with and your advertisers to understand would be a flat rate based on timeshare approach. You can start to put those prices together by actually looking at how many impressions your sites do get, and figure out, just by looking at other competitors, other media within the marketplace, even newspaper and print and things like that, what the cost per thousands that they are charging are, and figure out how you feel you can compete with those to generate a more flat rate based upon your current impressions and web traffic. Quoting on a weekly basis will reduce the cost perception and maximize value. So as a sales leader here within SoCast, not to give our trade secrets away, but for example, we price our licenses on a monthly basis, even though we bill on a quarterly or annual basis. And again, just advertisers' minds will be a smaller number is more impactful than a scarier larger number. So just basic psychology in that, but keep it simple for them and down to the smallest dollar. And meet regularly with your teams to get feedback and adjust pricing based on local market conditions. Obviously, with a strong economy and a movement towards digital, you should be able to certainly have some good intel on how to get started on those initial pricing. Creating compelling packages. Your advertisers have needs by whatever vertical they are in, even whatever locale they are in. And it's important to have packages that will connect them with their target audience. So if you're going out and doing ad campaigns to help, advertisers, be it a hospital or healthcare provider, recruit for new hires, that is a great ad campaign, for example. Put together specific packages that address your advertiser's specific needs. Local community colleges are looking for enrollment. How can you provide them with a holistic solution to increase awareness of enrollment at that school, for example? So there are a wide variety of things to think about. For car dealers, they obviously want foot traffic, test drives, anything that will convert into an activity. Perhaps there's a test drive campaign that you can help with a traditional on-site program, an on-air program, and blend that in with with all of your display inventory on your owned and operated sites, as well as a programmatic campaign running prior to that test drive event. We have a wealth of ideas that we'd be happy to share with you. It is very important to think of that and to generate those ideas and find partners that will help you until you guys can get on your feet on your own. Develop collateral specific to these bundles and tentpole offerings. Tentpole offerings are simply campaigns that you will come back to on a recurring theme time after time. And again, you should be building these bundles around local activities that happen annually, whether it's a local football game, a college football game that's an annual rivalry, like a Michigan State and Ohio State type game, and really, bundling some packages in around that to capitalize on the momentum of that local event. And selling advertisers on selling through you. So making sure that you're explaining the benefits of include those benefits of how you can help that advertiser reach their target market and not just sort of en masse. Really, digital enables you to go one to many, but it can be very targeted to the specific population that advertiser is looking to communicate with. And bundle premium benefits for additional costs. Don't be afraid to ask for more and layer up. So you could start by, for example, offering your owned and operated inventory and then adding a programmatic layer above that as a premium option. But giving your advertisers some proof of concept and asking for a little bit more share of their budget just to start is a great starting point. And lastly, figuring out how you can pitch for success. Focus your upsell on the pitch on how the customer wins. What are the benefits to them? With digital, there are so many benefits. It's trackable back to the cash register because you can do things like download of coupons or download or redemptions for special offers, things of that, or conversions to sign up for a contest or event, or even opt in for communications from your advertiser. These are all things that you can really get for your advertiser, but explain how they win. And again, be the expert. Share the benefits of digital and your channel. Again, groups like SOCAST can really help you get there. And there is so much material out there in today's day and age, given, again, just how important digital is. Some other great ideas that we've heard that have been really successful for our partners are that they have conducted an open house around digital for some of their key advertisers, bringing them in for a lunch or for an evening where you can do sort of an en masse presentation explaining the benefits of programmatic. Has been very successful. Again, it develops a lot of goodwill with your advertisers and explains to them and plants the seeds for them and explains to them en masse how your digital offerings that you're kicking off in 2019 will benefit them. And don't be afraid to enlist your on-air personalities in the process. They are some of the more creative people in your organization. They understand the local audiences that they are reaching very, very well, and likely, obviously not in every case, but likely have some ideas that may go untapped just because they're not considered traditional salespeople or have input into the general sales world. So they are, from our experience and from a lot of our partners' experience, have come up with some of the best promos online and things of that nature. Make sure you're building a media kit or some sort of documentation to share with your advertisers, including case studies and any testimonial successes that your team and advertisers have had. And last but not least, every salesperson should never be afraid to ask for the sale. I think that is sales 101. If you sort of just present it and leave it out there sort of hanging like a big meatball, nobody's going to bite that meatball. So make sure you are asking for the sale and encouraging your team to do that. That's something every strong salesperson is unafraid to do. We hope that that's some good insights for you and some thought-provoking checklists for you to go through with your sales team as you enter 2019. We wanted to share, again, a sample media kit, again, just something you can put together that will help highlight the benefits and everything that you're offering for your ad partners. This would be sort of a sample piece of collateral showing all of your materials, obviously branded to your radio station, and explain some of the benefits and ways that they can share, the advertiser can share their message through, 1 to 4 different ways. On the bottom, it gives them a sense of who your target audience is and who you are interacting with on an ongoing basis, as well as some of the impressions and statistical numbers that will impact that reach. Providing them with some visuals and insights onto what inventory you have. This is obviously specific to the owned and operated inventory. This, again, is priced at a CPM level, but just to give an example, but it shows all of the different materials, and some of them are priced on a monthly basis versus a CPM basis, but ultimately showing off what inventory you have with some pricing as a menu, and again, highlighting the reach and demographics. If you are doing more advanced campaigns like SOCAST ads, you can do more specific targeting campaigns, whether it's targeted display or a geofencing campaign where you customize a message for an advertiser within a radius of a location and try to reach and target the audience that walks into that so-called geofence. I'm doing air quotes as I sit here and nobody can see me, but what you can do is you can really extend your market, extend the impressions that you can get for an advertiser by doing campaigns like this, and have a highly targeted campaign around that location. You can then create a cookie pool for everybody who does view that ad or interacts with that ad, so you can then retarget them after they leave that geofence area. This is just one example of a programmatic ad campaign that you could run focusing around geofencing, but is generally one of the low-hanging fruit, if you will, within the programmatic menu. The way it would work is you would be able to run this campaign over 4 weeks for everybody who walks around that geo-targeted location, and then retarget them after after they look at the ads. The nice thing about it is, so you can target, people outside of your area as well. For example, if you have an advertiser that's a motel on the interstate, down on the the north to south corridor down to Florida, why not offer them the ability to target Canadians in Toronto like myself or my parents who are snowbirds who will pass by that motel in my local area. So you can target, people from, 55 to 75 who are likely snowbirds, who may be traveling through that area annually and are looking for a place to stay. That is the type of creative things you can do with targeted display and geo-targeting and things like that. So just gives you a sense of what the campaign could look like. So hopefully there's some tidbits in there that will help you with planning. Again, some of our webinars are very focused on very tactical things. Some of them are meant to inspire you for more theoretical things, and we try to provide a breadth of that knowledge. We're always open to feedback. But before we go, let's sort of wrap it up. We'd like to give you some thoughts on how you can accelerate your digital growth in 2019. First, form a digital steering committee, get people involved from sales, programming, your on-air talent, your promotions team to form a digital steering committee and contribute on an ongoing basis, whether it's a weekly, biweekly, monthly, quarterly meeting, to really figure out how you're doing that. Use the 4P framework as we discussed earlier with your sales teams. Make sure they are prepared, you have pricing, you have the packaging, and the pitch is all ready to go for them in 2019. Start generating original digital content on your websites and mobile apps to help engage your local audiences, things that will resonate with them, and also make sure that you have digital advertising campaigns very specific to your digital ad partners. Define ad packages that include digital. I mean, that's what this whole webinar has been about, so make sure that you are doing that. Evaluate your digital ecosystem and tools. If there's things we talked about and you aren't able to sell programmatic advertising solutions, make sure that you do have a partner like SoCast who can help you with that. Make sure that your content management system and mobile app solutions and your voice applications like Alexa and Google, make sure you have a partner that can help you monetize those and make it easy to manage that inventory so you can sell it and distribute that for your ad partners. If you don't, hey, SoCast is a great group to speak to. Establish digital KPIs and measure them regularly. Again, there's no point if you can't measure it. You're not really going to achieve much. So make sure that you can measure and that you are holding people accountable as well. Before we go, we want to thank everybody for attending today. You can obviously learn more at socastdigital.com at any time. We'd love for you to book a demo of our platform and our SoCast ad solution. Please feel free to reach out to us either through that website and click on the demo, talk to a specialist link, or book a demo. We'd be happy to do that for you. December is a great month for everybody to get ready for 2019, so we'll be happy. We're already getting ramped up with lots of requests, so make sure you get your requests in. I'd be happy to send you a free digital checklist and content cheat sheet for 2019. This is a great resource that you can print out and share with all of your teams to pin up above their desk when they're producing content and to make sure that your digital steering committees are asking the proper questions. We do, of course, have a special offer for all of our attendees today, and because it is the end of the year and we're excited to get going, if you do sign up with SoCast before December 31st, you will receive 50% off a mobile app with every web license. That's a great offering. Our mobile apps, depending on your traffic, range anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, so you'll save significantly on that. And you can send any requests for a demo, for the checklist, for the content cheat sheet, and most importantly, this presentation to Eric, myself, Eric Eisen, Eric at socastdigital.com. We want to thank you for attending. Again, request this presentation from me. Visit our website to learn more, and our next webinar will be coming up in January for our website Smackdown. We're very excited for that, where we'll be asking our participants to send in their website for critique by some digital experts, not SoCast only. Just we'll have some other third-party partners who will be critiquing websites, and it's a lot of fun and provide some really practical feedback on how you can improve your digital properties. But please stay in touch with us. Let us know your feedback. We really appreciate your time. To everybody out there, we wish you a happy and a healthy New Year and holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is. And we'll look forward to speaking to all of you in 2019.